This is question 64 on chemistry from the 2011 IMAT. So we're asked, based on the periodic table shown, which pair of elements will react with each other most energetically? So we have lithium and krypton, neon and sodium, carbon and helium, lithium and bromine, then sodium and chlorine. So firstly, there's something that we can notice about three of these pairs that will narrow the options down lots. And what is that? So in the first three, we have krypton, neon and helium, and we know that all of these are noble gases. And what do we know about noble gases? They're notoriously unreactive, and so chances are none of these three are going to be the most reactive or react with the other atom most energetically. So we can happily rule out these three. Now, what about lithium and bromine and sodium and chlorine? Well, firstly, what sort of reaction is going to happen? So we have a metal and a halogen, and of course the classic reaction between these two is formation of this ionic salt. So we have the metal atom and half a halogen molecule forming M plus X minus. So for which pair is this reaction going to be most favourable? Well, what property do we need to think about? That is the electronegativity. And so how does this change across the periodic table? We know that the trend goes something like this across the period and up the group, reaching maximum here at fluorine that's not shown. So based on this, which pair of elements do you think is going to be the most reactive? Well, if you look at lithium and bromine, lithium is here at the top of group 1, bromine's at the bottom of group 17. So bromine's not a particularly electronegative halogen, and lithium's not a very electropositive group 1 metal. And what about sodium and chlorine? Well, sodium's here, further down the group, so it's more electropositive than lithium, and we can see that chlorine is more electronegative than bromine. So what does this mean? Well, sodium is more electropositive, which means it's more likely to want to give up an electron to form the 1 plus ion, and chlorine being more electronegative means it's going to attract electrons more, and the favourability of forming the X minus ion is going to increase. So these two separate things mean that for sodium and chlorine it's going to be a very energetic reaction, but for lithium and bromine less so, because there's a smaller difference in electronegativity. So our answer is sodium and chlorine, which corresponds to E on the question paper.